PSV are keeping on shifting what we call goalpost as far as the real Cody Gakpo price tag is concerned to be sold in the January transfer window, because the fact is they want to sell, they want to balance up their books, and they don't want to find themselves in a situation where they cannot be balanced well by FIFA to go on and violate what we call the financial fair play rule. Then Diallo is one of the players playing at Manchester United and now on loan at Sunderland, and he's having a very wonderful season. He has scooped something that we are going to talk about as a player I believe in, and always I know he's going to return at Manchester United and hit the ground running. Then lastly, we are going to talk about the doctor of Manchester United that has really retired and obviously thrown in the towel, has been the club for close to 18 years and now he has left the club. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? Rock and David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the subscription button. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Remember, our mission this month is to hit 10,000 subscribers, and we are left with just 60 subscribers to hit 9,200. So guys, just subscribe to see to it that we enter 2023 with 10,000 subscribers. Don't you think so? That's going to be a very huge achievement. You get? So let's get rolling. Now, Rock and David is my name, guys. Now, Cody Gakpo is one of those players that United is in for and is having a very brilliant form. 4 games at the World Cup and having scored 3 goals. That is Cody Gakpo. Now, at first we are told that they want 50 million euros. Secondly, 65. Now there is a new price that has been put up on the head of Cody Gakpo. If at all United would love to go on and sign him to become a Red Devil. Now, he has also come out and really spoken about his move to United. Remember, he spoke after the summer that they are close to United, and the Anthony deal really stumbled everything of him joining Manchester United. Now, Cody Gakpo has gone ahead to put out, this is not Cody Gakpo. We've been told by Sebastian Dennis, all at Seb Nendo and Foot Mercato, that PSV are now demanding for an amount of money amounting to all north of 75 million euros for Cody Gakpo in January. Manchester United are not giving up. Now, 75 million euros, I think this is a joke, guys. To me, it's a joke, and I'm not believing this story. Why? For them, they set the price of this guy. I think it won't exceed, if it's smart, it won't exceed 60 million euros, because this player is one of the players that has been produced by PSV after a very long time of not selling players highly at hefty prices. To me, I believe 75 million euros for Cody Gakpo is a hefty price, and that will be kicking United and very many other desirable admirers of the player out of the deal. I don't believe that there is a club ready to spend 75 million euros on a player, and that only club that would have spent that money is one. It's Manchester United. You want Real Madrid going out to play 75 million euros for Cody Gakpo. Liverpool won't, Arsenal won't, Bayern Munich won't, PSG won't. That's it. You won't see any club that is run very, very well going in out to sign a player at 75 million euros. And let me be up to record, I've not seen a team go out and break the bank to sign a player in January at that amount of money. That's it. It's a kind of player that you bring in to fix something. You get? If United were really bad off in this situation, they would have gone ahead and did this. But I believe there are very many other strikers that Ten Hag can look at and really say, let's spend this amount of money on that player. And Ten Hag will look at this 75 million euros, if at all it's the real price put onto Gakpo to come to Manchester United, and he will say no. Because in 75 million euros for Ten Hag, if at all he has some good time, he can sign a right back at like 25 million euros, left with 50. He can look in for a centre forward who can come in to act as a stopgap as he waits for the summer, like for 40, meaning that we'll be left like 10. Then he can even try to find how he's going to use the remaining balance. But I believe at 50 million euros right now in the January transfer window, you can get a very decent player. Let me give you examples. Liverpool got Luis Diaz January of this year, 2023, and they paid 45 million pounds. I think that's close to 50 million euros, not so? So, if at all Liverpool paid 45 million pounds or 50 million euros for Luis Diaz to join them in January, I believe Luis Diaz is a much better player than Cody Gakpo. That's it. So, clubs that are really run very well can't really go out and pay this money. And let me be on record. The price of this guy is not going to be 75 million euros. It can't be. It can't be. And maybe we can find a situation of what Mikhailo Modric did. Mikhailo Modric is being linked to very many clubs, especially Arsenal. But this player, after hearing that the club wants 100 million euros, 70, 80 million euros, I think this player used his agent and told the agent, please go to the board, ask them how much money do they want for me. And obviously the player took on his Instagram story that I'm going to be sold for 40 million euros. You get? Because the player is desperate to move. And Cody Gakpo is desperate to leave PSV and join a club. And the club that is really needing him and he had already held discussions with is Manchester United. No club is going to come out and pay this amount of money. That club is not there. Even Manchester United can't go out and pay that amount of money. Reason being, they spent a lot in the summer, close to 205 million pounds that was spent on 5 players that brought in. Now, they believe that the most they should spend, because Ronaldo left, it should be 50 million euros on Cody Gakpo. And I believe that's the amount of money United are willing to release their purse strings to pass out to PSV. And I believe PSV will happily receive that money. And I think if they continue doing this, Cody Gakpo will go to the board and ask them, how much money do you want? Why don't you let me go? And I think the connection of Ruud van Nistelrooy will allow this deal to happen very, very, very quickly. And Ronaldo's departure is the one that is forcing United to sign in Cody Gakpo, because we are told that if at all Ronaldo never departed United, the board was not willing to back Ten Hag to sign Cody Gakpo. But Cody Gakpo is one of those players that the manager, Erik Ten Hag, always wanted to come and join the club after his move failed in the summer. Now, Cody Gakpo himself has come out and spoken about whether he has heard anything from Manchester United. Cody Gakpo said, I haven't heard from Manchester United yet. If they come, I will think about it. In these decisions too, I seek God's help. I ask him what I can do best. Guys, you see, there are atheists that don't believe in God. But most of the people on the planet Earth believe in God. And I'm so much excited to hear that Cody Gakpo is so much leaning to God. That's it. If you don't lean to God, then the world is not going to be an easy place for you to live. Depending on which religion you are, whether you were Christian, whether you were Muslim, whether you were born again, or what, provided you hear from God and you ask God to give you guidance. And I believe God is going to give him the best guidance. But the second important bit of the story is that he hasn't heard from Manchester United yet. I believe he cannot come out in the public and really say that I'm hearing from Manchester United, because even when United was interested in him in the summer, he never came out and really said United are really chasing for me. What happened was simple. After the summer closed, that's when he came out and said, United were in for me. Leeds were also in for me. That's what he said after. But right now, there is nothing can say, not until the winter transfer window in January closes on the 31st of January. That's it. So I believe it's really going to be something hard for United not to sign Cody Gakpo, because the manager likes him. Cody Gakpo and Erik Ten Hag are under the same management. The player has a lot of potential. And the most important bit of this deal of Gakpo to Manchester United, and what makes United the priority, is Cody Gakpo has a team to go out and lead the line for or he won't miss out on a position to play Manchester United. And I think maybe the other team that comes in through the equation is Arsenal, because Gabriel Jesus got an injury and he's going to be out for 3 months. Cody Gakpo might think, I can go to Arsenal, those 3 months of Gabriel Jesus out, I can go out and establish myself in. So we are just waiting to see, but I believe United are really at the forefront of this deal because Erik ten Hag really loves this player, and all of the players has brought in are not complaining about playing time. That is a player who goes by names of Cody Gakpo. He has not heard from Manchester United. That's a lie. He's talking with Erik ten Hag. That's what I know. And Erik ten Hag is at the helm of these discussions. This player really wants to join United. And obviously, he said in the summer he felt very bad when this deal never came to materialization. Now, they are playing Argentina tomorrow. And obviously, we are waiting to see what the result is going to be. But whatever comes out of that, we will wait and see what is going to happen. This deal will accelerate more and get more news when Netherlands is out of the World Cup. But right now, they just want to keep his mind focused on the World Cup. But I believe when the World Cup is done, or when they're knocked out maybe tomorrow, or when they knock out Argentina and proceed, when the time comes when Netherlands is out of the World Cup or they've won it, then we are going to hear more and more and more stories, because most of the journalists right now are at the World Cup and they are covering the World Cup. They are not having so much sources of agents, and the agents too at the World Cup really trying to meet very many scouts out there, because every club at the World Cup is having scouts. So the scouts, the agents, the managers, some managers are in the World Cup. So right now it's hard to really see deals really prospering. You've not had any deal really get done. Even that Jude Bellingham that is close, I believe they are just trying to put out stories, but I believe it's not yet close as people think. So, but after the World Cup, we are going to see very many deals happening in a nick of time. Now, after that, there is a player at Manchester United. He was signed from Atalanta. He goes by names of Amad Diallo, having had a very bad loan at Rangers. He was loaned to Sunderland by Erik ten Hag and Darren Fletcher decisions. He went that side. He's a revelation. This guy is really playing and scoring in goals for fun, creating assists, and obviously he's making United proud. Now, there is something he has really achieved again in his career at Sunderland. It's official. Amad Diallo has been nominated for the Championship Player of the Month award for November. This guy played very well, and I believe in him that he's really a very good player. He's scoring in goals, creating assists, and he's going to continue to thrive, and he's going to put a question, or he's going to put lingering questions in the head of Erik ten Hag, whether he's going to return him and put him with the first 11. United bought him at £45 million at that age, meaning that he was one of the players that was really talked about as the new Messi, but obviously he has everything they're talking about. But I will believe he was just mismanaged, and they gave him a wrong move to a club. If at all this player was at a team like Arsenal, I believe Mikel Arteta would have given him a very beautiful loan and would have returned him, and this season would have been one of those players that would have been pivotal at Arsenal, because Arsenal is a well-run club football-wise. Now, I think next season he's one of those players that are really going to rejoin Manchester United, having played that well in the Championship with Sunderland, and Sunderland is really having a very good season, and you might find themselves come to the Premier League, because they are not far away from the top 6 positions that guarantee you a chance to go out and play in there very, very well. And I think they resumed to play the Championship, and Amad Diallo really scored one when they beat Millwall by 3-0. Amad Diallo scored one and created one. That is Amad Diallo for you. And when you look at the standings of the Championship, Sunderland is 10th with 30 points. They are just how many points from the 6th team? They're just 1 point from the 6th, the team that is really playing 1 point, meaning that they can find themselves into the competition of even qualifying for the knockout stages, or else they can even finish second, because they are 7 points behind Sheffield United. If at all he really keeps on his form and banging in those goals, he can find himself in a position of winning for a team of Sunderland and leading them to the Premier League. And that is something I would love to see, him leading Sunderland to the Premier League, because if at all he leads them to the Premier League, even if Ten Hag really doesn't want to use him and feels like he should go on and really continue playing at loan, he will be privileged and taken as a priority by the Sunderland coach when they come to the Premier League to go on and play games. So to me, I believe he just has to go on and make sure that his team is in the knockout stages of the qualification round to the Premier League. Remember, the 4 teams that finish 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th go into what we call a playoff, and the winner of that playoff goes into the Premier League directly. But the first 2 teams qualify. So let's pray for Amad Diallo, but he's one of those players that I really believe is going to come in at United and get involved. Now, lastly, a story has been reported by Chris Whaler, obviously football writer for the Daily Mail. He's telling us that Manchester United club doctor Steve McManley has stepped down after 16 years in his role, meaning that has been here even when Sir Alex Ferguson was here, because Sir Alex Ferguson left in 2013, and those are like 9 years back. Not so. 9 years back, meaning that 9 years, that is 2013. How many years back that then? 7. Meaning that she joined United in... He joined United in 2006. So he has been here for 16 years, and I believe he had to leave because technology changes, and obviously a new doctor is required at Manchester United, and maybe those are new calls that Ten Hag is making when you're not knowing and telling the board that we need new physicians and physios to see to it that we give these players more and more time and we improve on their injuries, because United players have been really suffering from injuries a lot. Look at Anton Martial. You get, how can a manager convince a doctor this player is going to play? Yes, the doctor has to come in. The doctors want to make a recommendation to pass on the player to go on and play. Anton Martial told us that he played very many games when he was injured. Paul Ebide Pogba, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw. Look at which other player? Very many players played when they are injured, and the manager couldn't. And the manager had to convince the doctor to allow this to happen. But in a very elite system, you can't allow your player to step on the field of play when he's injured. And that is something that you couldn't allow to happen on your player. So I believe this guy has had his spell at Manchester United. It's over. And let a new physio come in to lead what we call the medical department of Manchester United, and Eric Ten Hag is going to get in modern physios and modern doctors to see to it done. So guys, that's what I had for you. First video of the day. New hefty Cody Gakpo price that is asking 75 million euros from Manchester United. Your reactions are welcome on that. Amad Diallo's performance down at Sunderland, what are your thoughts about it? Then the doctor throwing in the towel for Manchester United, all that into the comment section below. I want to see your comments thronging into the comment section below. Rock and David is my name. I hand you over to the Almighty Lord. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment and share, and continue to subscribe if at all you are watching us for the very first time or you had not yet watched us. Continue to subscribe, and let's see what God will have for us at the end of the day. I'm out. First video of the day. More two are yet to come. I'm out.